Everyday Boston is a community organization that uses the power of storytelling to break down divides in Boston. So it started in May of 2015, and it came about because I had been a reporter for several years and had noticed a lot of concerns in different communities about the way that they were being covered, and the stories that were being told and the stories that were not being told. This was a recurring theme throughout my time as a reporter at the Seattle Times and at the Hartford Courant. And when I came back to Boston, I heard similar concerns, and I just felt like instead of continuing to sort of write stories myself as a reporter, it seemed much more effective to actually give people a tool that they could use to capture stories for themselves and shift the narrative of who lives in Boston and how they live in Boston. Carmen is a giant in the city and in all of our lives at Everyday Boston. She is a role model in all kinds of ways that it would take too long to recount. But I met her first when I was thinking about starting Everyday Boston, and I was looking for people who could tell me whether this was a good idea or not. I went to a city forum on elderly issues, and after the presentation, several people spoke, and Carmen was in the audience, and she raised her hand, and I'll never forget it, and she just stood up, and she spoke loudly, she spoke passionately, she spoke, as Carmen Pola always does, as a force of nature. And as soon as I saw it, I just said to myself, I want that woman on our team.
I came here in the 70s, and there was no organization at all. People, you got 2 or 3 people holding the grounds and manipulating stuff. I had never been able to work by myself. I don't believe in ice. I believe in we. That's what I learned from the movement. I've been in all kinds of movement. I've been with the Cesar Chavez movement. I've been everything. Socialist, the Socialist Worker Party. I've been with the Quakers. I have tasted every group you can imagine. Of an ambassador is to identify issues and other people within the neighborhood, to invite them, to be interviewed, to put the stories in the internet, their stories, interview them and put their stories in the internet, and to make them part of our family, because we started with 5, 6 of us, and now it's hundreds of us. So. My role in Everyday Boston has been one of learning, educating, and being able to understand the process of the media within my neighborhood, and trying to improve it, to make it more positive about us people in the neighborhood that don't have the financial pockets that most people in cities have.
I think there's there's a lack of curiosity and a lack of connection right now, and I think that leads to it leads to a lot of damage in our society. And I think stereotypes are flying all around. They're traveling like a virus. There's not a lot in place to stop them. Storytelling, in my opinion, sharing stories, telling stories, listening to stories, that leads to the kind of connection that can break down stereotypes. And when you break down stereotypes, I think it has really deep roots in how society can function.
What I have learned from Everyday Boston is that everybody got a chance in life. You just gotta struggle and make it for yourself. You have to fight for it, and you'll get it.